Hello? Oh my gosh, I'm kind of nervous. Oh, okay, I think... I think I'm technically streaming right now. I hate how every stream starts with that. Oh, I see my own face. I don't know if anyone's here, though. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna code Evolution Simulator. This is very strange. Yeah, so I haven't made an Evolution Simulator video since 2017, and oh, hello everyone. I'll just type hello. Hello, commenter people. Okay, let me explain what's going on. So yeah, I haven't made an Evolution Simulator video in like 3 years, and I figure like it's time to make a new one. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm making it in Python. So the first one, oh, I had an error. The first one, hold on, I have to like move stuff around. Give me a sec. Okay, hello, Carl Cubes. Hi, Michael Official. Hello, what and Floof that Floof. Haven't made a Lazy KH video in a while too. Yeah, well, I think I'm streaming on Lazy KH because I don't have high hopes for how much progress I'm gonna make today. Okay, so I am trying to make a new evolution simulator. The first one was in Java. Okay, so there's something on the screen for you to look at. The first one was in Java. I'm trying to get all my windows open. Okay, this is a good layout. I have my code on my monitor 1. I've got OBS and YouTube Studio open on monitor 2. Anyway, I have this grid here, and each of these 100 like squares is supposed to be a creature, and then within each creature it's like a 5x5 grid of cells, and these cells are what I'm going to call muscles, and they can like shrink and grow. And yeah, it's going to be downloadable. My plan is to make it open source, and that's why I'm doing it with Python, because I feel like not as many people are as familiar with processing, which is what the first one was made in, but Python is like, you know, the de facto language on GitHub. So I think if it's like a giant GitHub repo that you can just download and run, then the tech-savvy viewers out there can just try it themselves. Anyway, this is like day 1, like literally the beginning, so don't expect a lot. I'm using Pygame for the graphics, by the way. But, okay, so the thing I'm working on right now might get a little too technical. Okay, so the problem with the Java version was that it would iterate through every single creature and sort of calculate it. Like, when it's simulating how it moves in 15 seconds, it has to calculate each one individually. But if you want things to run faster, which I do, if you can vectorize it, that's better. And vectorizing is sort of like... okay, I can't explain it all at once, but it's like you're doing a bunch of operations all at once, and it's been optimized by Python. Like, there's this library called NumPy. Where is it? Right here. See this very first line? Import NumPy as NP. This is going to give me a lot of this speed up. At least I hope. And, okay, so let me just get started, okay? So the problem with the vectorization is that the goal is you get rid of for loops. But I think the problem is it's kind of hard for me as a human to read it. So, okay, my goal for today is to make it so that like you can see the muscles just shrink and grow. And there won't be a ground and there won't be gravity, but that's all I want for today. So, like, okay. This function called apply muscles, it's taking in an array of nodes and an array of muscles, and it's calculating the distance between the nodes. Because, okay, here's the idea. If the muscle wants to be 1 meter long, but the nodes are a lot closer than that, then they'll be repelled apart. But if they're a lot further, they'll be attracted to each other. So you need to know, first off, what the distance is. So I calculate it through this, and you can see that like every time I do any operation, it's not between 2 numbers or even 2 number variables. It's between 2 arrays. Because the idea is I have like 1,000 creatures at once, and I want to be able to like calculate the distance between all 1,000 creatures, like upper 2 nodes, in one line of code. And I feel like Stanford classes would force us to vectorize everything, and I hated it. So yeah, where's super? I don't know what super chat is. Anyway, I'm just gonna start coding, and it's not gonna. It might not be that entertaining. Okay, so I have this. Okay, and the next thing I was gonna try is. Oh, right. Okay, so I have MA, which is for muscle attraction. Next, I need to get distance array. Okay, this is... Okay, I have to do some, like... I'm diagramming on my notebook right now. So okay, let me just draw a diagram. Okay. So if you imagine this grid of 5x5 cells here, well, if you imagine it like this, where, okay, this is like a 2x2 grid, you'll notice that there's 4 cells of muscle, but technically there are there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 12 connections between nodes. So, my idea is like, each cell of muscle, like you can think of it like a jelly blob, can choose to be big or small, but that's going to have an effect on all of the 4 surrounding like ligaments. But because squares are very fragile structural shapes, I have to do like a sort of cross shape on each muscle to make it more structurally sound. And so, in fact, there's 4 different types of ligaments. There's a vertical, there's horizontal, there's negative diagonal, and there's positive diagonal. So this is going to get a little confusing. Okay, anyway, I already did these things to calculate muscle attraction, so let me just focus on horizontal first, because I like to start with x. When I have x and y, I want to start with x. So the lower MA stands for the lower edge of every muscle cell. Andrew Cheng says toot is epic. By the way, I guess I could, like, I don't know. Actually, no, I'm not going to take any requests because, like, usually I draw every now and then, but if I start drawing requests, then that will never stop, and that's not the point of this stream. Okay, so lower MA is the lower edge of each square cell. Next, what I'm going to do is... Oh man, this is confusing. Okay, so n is the coordinates of each node. Yeah, I might not pay attention to the chat that much because I think like when you're coding, you kind of have to be in the zone. But I'm just gonna sort of like say what's in my mind right now. So n is a 4-dimensional array, which sounds kind of ridiculous, but wait, no, n is a 3-dimensional array. So, okay, here's something that I do in Python. If I ever forget what an array even is, I do print its shape, and then just print it, and then assert false. And assert false is going to like halt the program no matter what. Oh shoot, my last one is still running. So if I do that, I get to the assertion error, but we can see that the first thing that it printed, oh my god, that's huge. It's a 4-dimensional array. The dimensions are 100, 664. This isn't... Okay, I appreciate all the enthusiasm about BFDI and Teapot in the chat, but I'm focusing on a different project right now. LazyKH, in my mind, is like the secondary channel to CarryKH, and both of those are supposed to be focused on my computer science / math / I don't know, science or knowledge content, and BFDI stuff is for Jack and Jellyfy and Humany. Anyway, so as a like little marker, n is 100 by 6 by 6 by 4. Is that right? Yeah. So the 6 by 6 is because if you look at that grid of, a creature, there's 5 by 5 muscles, but the corners of those are where the nodes are. So there's going to be one extra node, so that's why it's 6 by 6. And then the 4 is because... Oh, the 4 corresponds to how every node has an x coordinate, a y coordinate, an x velocity. This is getting so confusing, honestly, and a y velocity. Okay, I might like speed run this and not like explain what I'm doing, and just to get a interesting result faster. There shouldn't be a space between L and S. Oh, here, I and S. Well, this is just a comment to show you guys what's going on. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so we're doing the lower muscle attraction. So these are horizontal muscles, which means that there has to be a node to the right of it and a node to the left of it. So if you're the leftmost node, you can't have another node to the left of you. So we are going to constrict this array across the x dimension, which is the second one. And we're going to say, let me think. If I do this, 1 colon nothing, then it's going to exclude the 0th, or it's going to exclude the leftmost column. Then if I subtract from that colon, yeah, I guess you have to be like pretty familiar with Python to even understand what's going on here. But when you do colon -1, that's going to exclude the rightmost column. So now when you subtract one from the other, you're going to get the distance. Oh no, it gets more confusing. Okay. Sorry if this is like not making much sense. I'm just gonna do it, and you can, in the comments, you can like talk to each other. I don't know. Oh yeah, okay, node core count 4, so x position is the 0th coordinate. And light theme bad. I'm using Notepad++. I don't even know how to change it to dark mode. Like, if sometimes I use Sublime, and that's automatically in dark mode. Oh, someone said that I know medium level MATLAB coding. I actually never used MATLAB. Like, to me, it seemed intimidating. I'm not really sure why. Anyway, so this variable is called... Well, hold on. Oh, okay, so this is going to be called x deltas. Oh my god, this is going to get confusing. So this is lower ligaments. X deltas equals this, and then Y deltas equals this. But we're going to change this. Oh, I don't know. Did you hear that error sound? Like, I don't know if OBS is picking up error sounds. Oh, someone says anything other than VS Code. Honestly, I don't really mind what text editor I'm using. Like, I really feel like it doesn't matter the environment. What matters is what project I'm producing. So if you've ever made a gravity simulator or just any sort of thing where particles interact, you know that, if you have two particles and the arrows are pointing to each other to signify they're attracting, even if you already know the force by which they should be attracted to each other, you still have to figure out the difference in y coordinates and the difference in x coordinates. Like you have delta x, delta y or something. And we're going to multiply the delta x, delta y by the force. Oh no, okay. I'm just going to do and then test. That's the best way to program. Like, don't try to figure out if it's mathematically correct or not. Okay, so let's just print x deltas that shape and print y deltas that shape. I mean, I could print out the actual values, but they're going to be meaningless to me. Okay, so... Oh, this stuff's still printed. Okay, so they're 5 by 6, which makes sense because, well, I don't want to explain why. It just makes sense. Trust me. Okay. Oh, OCTQ is my brother's channel, but that's also object related, so it's not going to be what I'm focusing on this channel. Okay. I need to normalize these. This is... Do I need to normalize? No, I don't need to normalize them if... Let me think. I'm going to normalize them. It just makes sense to. So... I'm going to say... No, okay. I'm going to change this. So delta refers to the difference between coordinates. So this delta x, delta y. There's probably a NumPy array that, or a function that does this better, but I'm going to do delta magnitude, and it's just going to be the square root of the sum of squares. This is the Pythagorean theorem. By the way, I already did about an hour of coding earlier today, but I didn't. I recorded it, but I didn't stream it. And I felt like I was going really fast, and that's honestly because I think the start of projects goes really quickly. Anyway, so delta, let's say like normalize delta. Actually, no, let's do delta underscore nx. This is weird. Is the x divided by the magnitude. So now, now nx and ny are referring to a vector whose length is 1. And I'm sure someone in the comments is going to say, there's such a better way to do that. Someone says play music in the background. Okay, the point of this stream is not to be entertaining. I just sort of want to document my coding process. I don't know, if ever this evolution simulator becomes like successful or people are interested in where it all started, I just wanted it to be online. Okay, anyway, now all I have to do is say lower MA means that we actually don't get the uppermost. Wait, lower MA. Oh, we don't get the uppermost ligaments. Yeah, nothing is going to look like Evolution Simulator until all of these physics work out. And so you can see there's like 6 different directions. Okay, anyway. I didn't think this through. I could try playing object show music. Or BFDI OSC, OST. But yeah, reminder, this channel is not for object show content. I'm just gonna click a random one. Whatever you get, it could be one of the horrifying ones. What's this? This is only 1 minute long. That's not gonna last. How do I wonder if there's a way to shuffle through a bunch of different M4A files in a folder. Like, it's not on Spotify or anything. I'll just do the longest one I know. Infederence is like 4 minutes long. I'm double clicking. Can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear? Oh, it's really loud. Okay. Wait, actually, that's too loud for me too. Okay, that's still too loud. Okay, I swear I've done barely any coding at all. Okay, friend, these are gonna be the same shape. I know they're gonna be. Okay, then lower MA shape. If they match, then we're like, that's sweet. We're like, what's the word? Smooth sailing. They are the same shape. So what that means is we can say, finally, for the nodes, yeah, a lot of times if you're coding, you're always drawing diagrams. Since these are the nodes being pulled to the left, and they're on the lower ligament, we're going to exclude the uppermost and the rightmost. So this excludes the rightmost. This excludes the uppermost. Oh wait, the first one is okay, yeah. I'm just gonna do and not say. The last one is x coordinates. This, oh no, x velocities. Whenever forces are applied, they always get applied to velocities. Like, that's just a part of physics, right? You know, like whenever a ball is being affected by gravity, the velocity is changing at a constant rate. So you're not going to affect the position itself. Okay, so x velocity is the second value. And we're going to plus equals this. And then the cool thing is this is just analogous for the y. We just do that. And then, oh, okay, cool. We can do this very easily on the other side. Like again with the two particle diagram, if one gets pulled in one direction, the other guy gets pulled in the other direction. So I would do minus equals, and the guy on the other end of this line is going to be this. So I think that actually, like, should all be technically correct. I can't think with this music playing. So this should just work. Yeah, it works because it got to assert, but you don't get to see anything, which is so frustrating about like the very first stages of a project, is that you just sometimes have to hope it works until you can like visually show everything. And I trust this works. Lower ligaments. Now this is gonna have a lot of repeated code, which I don't like. Delta magnitude. Where does it actually take lower MA? Wait, I never included lower MA. Oh, it would be like that. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna say MAs equals none times 6, because that's the directions, and then I'm gonna say I'm gonna put these all into an array, because that way I don't have 6 different variables, and I can also loop over them more easily. In fact, this all should be a loop somehow. I would make it a loop if I could figure out how to more mathematically define all these constants on the right. Okay, so now I'm gonna say for direction in range 6. Okay, I'll read the comments every now and then so you don't get extremely bored. Great content, keep it up, says Illegal Logger. Thank you, Illegal Logger. You should stop logging though, because it's illegal. Okay, so now instead of lower MA, that doesn't exist because they replaced it with MA's 0. But delta X, delta Y. Wait, let me check something. I can't see how many people are watching my stream. Is everyone gone yet? Okay, 140 people are watching. Okay, so you haven't all left yet. Delta X. The thing is, this is going to be different for each of the directions. Okay, well the 0 and 1 stay the same. I know that. Okay, that didn't mean that to happen. Okay, you know what? This is going to be kind of sloppy, but I'm going to say segments. This is going to be an array of 6 elements. Oh my god. Okay, all the code below this point is going to be the same. Let me think. Oh yeah, this is all Python. It's yeah, everything I'm writing here. I think literally every Notepad++ file I have open right now is .py. Okay. It's a one-dimensional array. Okay. I need to think about a clever way to do this. Delta X, delta Y. Honestly, I could... I don't know why I decided to stream like one of the most difficult like programming projects. Like some of these other projects that I have coded, you know, are a lot simpler, and like I could have just kept coding and never had to stop to think, but this one is like really baffling my mind right now, because I mean I know how to code it very crudely without a loop, but it just would have a lot of repeated code, which isn't very easy to deal with. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do segments, and then... Okay. the first direction is what we have here, which is 1, 0, 0, -1. This is really what my life has come to. 1, 0, 0, -1, 0, -1, 0, -1. Okay, yeah, I think that's right. This is ridiculous. This is like actually ridiculous. Oh, I know a way I can make this like simpler. Do you notice how both of these commands are like looking at this for the same slice for the first 3 axes? It's only the 4th one that's different. So I can just say slice equals. Oh, that's already taken. I'll just say SLI. Okay, if you code with Python, this will make you euphoric. Maybe not. Oh my god, this is. Wait, no. No, these are different. Oh, that's stupid. Okay, I'll just say. Okay, it's a work in progress. We have slice 1 and slice 2. I don't know if this is going to actually make it look better or worse. I think it'll make it easier to understand, though. So, slice... Yeah, I think this makes a little more sense. We're taking the difference between... Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to try to explain what's going on. This is just ridiculous. So now, the only numbers that need to be encoded are these guys. So that's... 1, 0, 0. So I'm going to say segments... Okay, segment equals segments. I feel like every programmer has a certain like process that they follow. Oh, what is the array n? Okay, so the array n, I'll just put it as a comment and I won't delete it. The array n is a 100 by 6 by 6 by 4 dimensional array, and it encodes the position and velocity data for all 100 creatures on a frame. So let me zoom out a little bit so you can see that. Dimension 1 is 100 creatures, obviously. So dimension 1 is like creature ID. This might help me as well to figure out what's going on. Yeah, commenting your code, good idea. Dimension 2 is 6 nodes across the x dimension. So it's like, the question is asking, which node do you want to refer to on the horizontal axis? Dimension 3 is, which node do you want to refer to on the y-axis? And then dimension 4 is, which coordinate do you want? Either x, y, velocity x, or velocity y. Because every single node can be like floating in space in any random location and position. Okay, let me just do this now. So segment equals segments, direction. Actually, let's just do dire. I like using the word dire because it's shorter than direction. And then this is going to be segment 0. This is going to be so ugly, but if it works, I won't have to touch it ever again. I feel like those are famous programmers' last words, though. The lengths I go to not repeat code involves repeating code in other ways. Okay, so now there's that. And then I have to do this 5 times. Okay, so the next one was... So this one was lower muscle attraction. This is upper muscle attraction. So x dimension is the same. Y dimension flips. X dimension is the same. Y dimension flips. Well, I think... Wait. Okay, yeah, you guys can leave if this is like boring or weird. I feel like no one can really watch this for more than a minute at a time. Okay, I'm just gonna do it and then like run it, and if it works, yay, and then I'll simplify it later. I'm just realizing that there's a lot of like repeated information here. So now we're doing the verticals. We're doing the left edge of each muscle and the right edge. So the left edge, the x coordinate is going to be, well, it's just going to be the transpose of all of these things. Well, I guess you can't have a transpose of this, but whatever. So -1. And then 0, -1 again. Yeah, 0, -1 again. And then this will all pay off eventually. Yeah, I'm repeating a lot of information here. It should be... I'm going to place this with 1, 0, 0, 0. And then 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. I feel like I'm just speaking like a computer right now. Because, like, what do these numbers mean? I actually... I'm starting to lose touch with what these numbers mean. I feel like I'm so lost in abstraction right now that I can't tell. It says 1, 1, 1, 0. Now we do the diagonals. Okay, I'll read a comment right now. So is this going to be generalized learning algorithm or more user-friendly so people can use it to learn? Well, I think with evolution simulators, you can't predict how the creatures are going to evolve, so it's hard to make an educational tool out of it, because it's like certain phenomena that happen in evolution, like genetic drift, or, I don't know, branching of two different species because of like geographic separation or something. You can't ensure that those will happen when you just make a tool for the very first time. So it's really just like an experiment, I would say. It's like me trying to create a universe, and I'm just curious as what happens. It's all going to be open source, and if people want to modify it to add their own special twists, they can. So if someone wants to make it more into a game that like kids can understand, they can. But again, my point with this channel is not to make kid-friendly content. I just want to make an evolution simulator and see what happens. Okay, so the diagonals are going to be from this is I'm so confused. Oh, I know a way of like thinking about this. These are just coordinates. It's going from like 1 0 to 0 0. So that is the up lower edge. 1 1 to 0 1 is the okay. So in that case, then the diagonals is it's just 1 1 to 0 0. That's like I guess I could just it looks like I start with the ones first. Although I don't have to. Well, I'll flip them around later. And then like the other diagonal is 1 0 to 0 1. And I think that should be pretty easy to understand. I'm going to flip these around because I like it to go upwards instead of downwards. But yeah, like this is like super easy to understand. Like just think of coordinates on graph paper. You're going from like 0 0 to 1 1. You're going from... That one can stay the same. Or I'll just flip it for consistency. Okay, all that's done. So segment equals segment stire. Now, I made this hard for myself again. You know what? Okay, I'm going to assert false again, just to make sanity check, make sure I didn't like do something really, really dumb. I should get 4 numbers. There's my 4 numbers. S1. So if any of... Okay, these pairs... Okay, I need to write on paper again. If I get a 1, that means that that should turn into 1 colon 0. And if it's 0, then it should turn into 0 colon -1. That's pretty good then, because... Okay, I'll just show my diagram. This probably doesn't mean a single thing to a single person, but this is what I just drew. Yay me. Good evening, Hannah, says Coffee Cake. Basically every coding session ever. Yeah, I'm using Pygame. I actually really like Pygame because it's actually surprisingly easy to use. And I like their concept of having surfaces. Okay, so here we go. Let me just call this S for brevity. Brevity! I use the word brevity. I'm so cool. So this is going to be S0. And then, because of what I just drew on the paper that I showed you, the second number is always the first one minus 1. I promise this will get more interesting to watch when you can actually see the visuals on the screen. But you know, this is what coding is like. You just have to anticipate what you will see in the distant future. And you won't get there until you work hard and slog through it for like weeks. Okay, I don't think this will take weeks, but we'll see. Okay, so that happened, and now I also have to fix these guys. Notepad++ is the best IDE. I'm glad you think that. I'm too scared to pick my favorite IDE because like people feel very strongly one way or another, and I don't want to like ostracize the Vim crowd. I know that they are strong and powerful, and I cannot compete with that. Anyway, what do these numbers mean? Oh man, I'm so confused. This is hurting. Let me just run this and see if it crashes, then it was something else we need to fix. We got a crash, yes, which is not good. Okay, print. The reason I like the crashes is because I can like focus on fixing the bug instead of having to create new territory. You know. Oh, 0. Oh, that's bad. You said 0. There should be no reason why an array has a length of 0. Print. Okay, you want to be that way? You want to do this? S2 is, so it goes 1 to 0. No, oh my god. There's a difference. Oh my god. Okay. Paper and pen. We got a crash. Yeah. Now I'm not really happy about this. Ugh, why? Maybe I should have like not started streaming until I was very close to like showing you the cool results. Hi Fries BFB. Thanks for showing up. OBS says the stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended. Whatever. That just means that you get a blurrier picture of me than normal. Like, I think it's good if you see a blurry carry anyway. You won't see as many of my blemishes. Oh, you know what I could do? Oh my god, this is like... Okay, this is... This is like evil. Okay, I don't like this. Every time, like, okay, the creatures are 5x5 blocks of muscle, which is why I have this variable 5x5, but I had it as a single variable. But I've always had to split it up, so I think I'm just gonna make it 2 different variables with very short names. So now every time I see creature gym, I want to get rid of it because, like, see, like here I had to split it up. Creature width. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll just say creature gym equals this, so I can have both if I ever need to. Don't know why I ever would, but like this just might come in handy. So now nothing will actually break, but I can go through and replace every occurrence of creature dim with creature with the new variables. See, now I don't need this. And then if W ever shows up, well, now I just put a C in front of it, and then we're good to go. CH are my initials, by the way. Shout out to the CH gang. If there's anyone else whose initials are CH, comment in the chat and I will give you 1 quadrillion Statues of Liberty or something. I don't know. That's all I have in my reserves. Okay. CH. Do we have any more creature gyms? We have this. This is this. Are we done? We're done. Okay, so that's the last appearance. Okay. Now instead of this... Oh, this is gonna look weird. Right? Is that right? Wait, no. We'll see. The fun thing is, like, when it finally compiles, I bet, like, there'll be, like, spazzing all over the place and the creatures won't make any sense, but we'll slowly work our way through it. Okay. Is it gonna crash? Assertion error. So assertion error means it didn't crash because it got to where I expected it to. So that's good. Okay, so we solved the first problem. This is the first problem. The second problem is here. Which guys are affected, and I'm trying to figure out like these two numbers, -1 to -1, -1, -1, 1, -1, 1, -1. Well, these are obviously going to be the same. It's all going to be based on these numbers. I feel like this is solving a Sudoku puzzle or something. So... Okay, I'm gonna create a little table. Okay, so when S is 1, reminder to anyone who's new here, actually I don't feel like reminding you, the reason why there's 6 of everything, like why do I have 6 different things in the array, is because there's 6, wait, I can't see my screen. There's 6 sides to this square structure with a cross in the middle. There's X in the middle! I'm trying to talk in X's voice, but I just don't have the energy. I just can't be bothered. But there's 6 edges to every square in this world, so I need to get this to work. Okay, so when S equals 1, oh, wait. Oh my god, why is this so confusing? An S equals 1. I'm gonna cry. Okay, I'm gonna just create a second array, segments 2. And then like if they happen to match up somehow, then I'll just combine them to 1. So this is gonna be 0, negative. What does this mean? Why -1? Because we're on the lower. Okay, I'll read a comment right now. I'm feeling bored. Big Chungus Gaming says XXXXXX. Ruben Osorio says stay safe, carry with a thing. Yeah, I know I can't do this, or like it doesn't make sense to do this, but I'm not sure if these lines of code actually moves the node around. Like these lines figure out what the force should be on the node, and then this one actually moves it. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, if S is 1, then we're going to be indexing 0 to -1, 0 to -1, then 1 to 0, 0 to -1. If S equals 2, what are we going to do? Well, the X stays the same, but we're on the lower end this time, so or the upper end, whatever. So, use flip. I'm writing on a paper right now, which I'm not showing you. Okay, so this looks like it has a similar structure. So if we can ignore these, we'll just pay attention to these. Okay. Well, this isn't right. Oh no, this is supposed to be 1, 0. Okay. 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, that looks like it is similar. So, okay, I know that this is going to be S0. And I know that this has to be this. Don't ask me why, I just know. And then this has to be... I'm pretty confident this one has to be 3. Wait, hold up. Oh. Okay, so, and then this is definitely the same. But now, oh, that wasn't right. This was like this. Yeah, wait. This was like this. Someone says Team Monkey. Okay, question. Is M-O-N-K-E pronounced monkey, or is it just monk? Because I feel like it could go either way. You know, some words end with like consonant E, but the E is still silent. I bet it's monkey. My bets are on monkey. People are still typing monkey. I'm gonna put a Y in the chat because you gotta finish the word monkey. Okay. The last number of both was Okay, let me just figure this out. So this 0, -1. It looks like it's okay. It looks like it's the same. And if it's the same, I shouldn't have spent so much energy on trying to figure this out. I think it's the same. I can just copy this. That's how stupid it is. Okay. Does that work? Is it gonna work? Nope, it doesn't work. The arrays don't line up. I feel like when two array shapes don't line up, that's actually one of the best errors to get because it's easy to sort of track down where the mismatch happened. So somewhere along the way, I'm losing the high uppermost dimension of size 100. Just print end.shape, print. Everything should have that 100 dimension in it. And why is that? Well, that's because every single... What is even this thing? Every single creature is going to be subjected to the same thing effect. Oh, delta nx is wrong. Okay. Why? Why does it want to be wrong? What about just plain old delta x? That one's also wrong. Okay, so Sly is wrong then. Let me just double check. Okay, basically the 100 was dropped somewhere and I don't know where. Oh, Sly isn't defined. Duh. Sly has all of them. Oh, Sly 0. That shouldn't be there. Why is that there? Oh, it's supposed to be that. Okay, so when you want to access the like fourth, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna say it. This is like not making sense. I should just. Basically, it's like you have to pay a lot of attention to how many colons and commas you have because that's telling Python how many dimensions you need to go down. Delta ny.shape. Okay, so what shape should it be? N? Oh wait, that's getting kind of close in dimensionality. Did I just do that on stream? That wasn't a fart. That was just my lips. The displacement of New York. What are you talking about? Tables and... Yeah, it's tables and tables. Like, Vincent James, you are correct. Like, think of it this way. Like, every creature is in itself a table, but then you have to have a table of creatures because there's 100 of them. So it's a table of tables. Anyway, one of these shapes is not lining up. Okay, so what's this guy's shape? Okay, so this is losing an entire dimension. Oh, I see it. For some reason, these were lost. Okay, that actually makes a lot more sense, because now these line up, like, they look like they're the same length. So, here we go. Boom, assertion error. That means we got all the way down here. So now all we have to do is... Well, this function is just to apply the muscle, so it already did its job. So we're done. We can delete all of this. Okay. We're done with the function called apply muscles. Now, if I go up a level, the reason I did all of this stream is very relaxing to me after a long day of classes. Oh, hi, Mike and Kanikel. Watermelon. Okay, I should stop calling you Watermelon. But yeah, I hope that this can be relaxing and just like background noise, so I won't say anything provocative. Anyway, simulate is like, we're gonna run these 100 creatures or so and like see where you end up. But on every frame, we have to take in the creature, apply gravity, which is what this line does. Applying gravity is like very, very simple because you just decrease the y velocity slightly over time. Apply friction, and I just finished apply muscles. Then, well no, applying muscle should happen before frictioning, because it's like if you move your arm really fast, the muscle motion that makes your arm move faster happens before the friction slows it down. Although it's like kind of trivial, it doesn't really matter what way you do it. Okay, so apply gravity, apply muscle motion, then apply friction, and then move everything. That should be it. Okay, let's see if I can get to the end of simulate. I would be kind of surprised. Oh, we do. Okay, so we can simulate 1 frame. So that's good, but I don't know how to look at that. Let me just print node core 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so this is just like a stupid sanity check. If things move, then when you print at the beginning and you print at the end, they should be different, right? So let me just say before. Yes, that says Befirio. Don't judge. That's just my accent. And then after. Do we think that this node will have moved? Wait, I can't see my own face, so I don't know if I made a cringe face or not. Okay, oh. I've been live for 51 minutes. I'm gonna go off live at 1 hour because there's no reason I should subject you to that. But you see how the after is ever so slightly different? It's like 0.0002. That means that the muscles have moved it. I know it's very anticlimactic. If I run it again, it should be a different number because it's like based on random initial conditions. Oh wait, no, that's the same. No, it's different. It's different. Oh, this time it's negative. It's negative. This time it's negative. Okay, so that is all making sense. I'm actually really pleased to see that. So now all I have to do is... Wait, does it still draw the creatures? Get rid of the assert. Okay, so if you simulate... What I want you to do is simulate once. Where does it even... Where does it... I don't know. This is so weird. Okay, there, our creatures are back, but I haven't even programmed it in so that when it draws a creature, it can show the movement. But that's all I'll do now. Before I do that, though, right now I have it so that the ID card, which is like, you know, like a Pokédex like card that shows you know, this creature does this. It's only 50 pixels by 50 pixels, but I'm gonna make it 200 by 200 so that we can see more of them. And more of it, like higher resolution. And then when we draw a mosaic, that's such a weird word, mosaic. It's like spelled M-O-S-A-I-C. I'm gonna multiply this by 200 instead of 200. 50 is about 200. So now everything should look 4 times bigger. That's not what I meant. Okay, they're 4 times further apart, but I want them to be 4 times bigger. So what gives? Okay, I need to put these into different files. I have too many functions now. Draw ID card. Get muscle array, get starting node, initialize. Oh my god, where's the function that draws the ID card? Function simulate. Draw creature's mosaic, creature's ID card. Where does it create the ID card? Oh, here it is, get ID card. Okay. 40, 40. That's not good. Now they're even like more broken apart. Okay, this should work. Yay! Except they're too close. They're not social distancing. Oh, some Big Chungus Gaming says it might be easier to find functions when we add notes for one. Yeah, that's probably true. Don't care. Ooh, that was kind of mean. Don't care. Let's replace this with like 250. I need a little more breathing room in between these creatures. Okay. Okay. There. So now, if I have very slight movements, I should be able to see it. Hello. Oh, hi Sabra. Sabra's wondering, am I going to go all offline in an hour or when it hits an hour? I haven't decided. Okay, let's just say as soon as I can see animation of these creatures jiggling around, that's when I'll end the stream, because that will be like a good stopping point. And that probably will take at least half an hour, I would say. Don't quote me on that, because if I say it takes half an hour, it'll probably take like 3 hours. Anyway, that's a really good sign that I can, edit these creatures so easily. But here's the thing. So if the nodes are like jiggling around randomly, they aren't always rectangles. So the fact that I just did pygame.draw.rect, that's kind of closed-minded thinking. You're thinking inside the box. We need to instead draw polygons. But I don't know how to do that, which is why Google is so nice. I'm just going to Google pygame draw polygon. So like everything's going to be a quadrilateral. Oh my god, is it just me, or are we getting tired of inference? Can you hear inference? I don't know if you can hear it. We're going to play a different song. Let's go with Poopy. There's a song called Poopy here. I don't know what it is. Let's do Hush. We're listening to Hush, guys. Can you hear Hush? Can you hear Hush? Well, I can't believe I'm gaining viewers. I have 190 viewers. Like, wait, can you guys hear this? Can you not hear it? Okay. Oh, people can hear it. Okay. I'm gonna turn down my own headphones though. Yeah, tell me if I need to make it go up or down. I'm not gonna play any music that's copyright claimable, guys. That's why I like Michael's music so much. Cough cough distro kid. I'm just kidding. Okay. Pygame polygon. Draw a polygon. Surface color points width. Okay. I can show you this on the screen. Oh. Whatever. So here's like reference for everything. Let's swap them around. Oh my god. Okay. So I'm tired. Instead of like, okay, a rectangle has width and height right here, or X, Y, width and height, but instead we want to do just a list of points. So if I replace it with polygon, because it's actually pretty intuitive. First off, let's just try to create the same points, or same rectangles but with points this time, just like sanity check. So let's do like, I love Hush. Like I feel like it makes me feel nostalgic for like childhood for some reason, even though it came out very recently. I'm a Hush stan. Quote me on it. If you ever like meet me in public, you can say, "There's that Hush stan." Oh, this is so weird. Why am I saying this? Okay. Anyway, this is a test to see if I can create polygons. EX, EY. I'm guessing it's like, here's point 1. Here's point 2. Okay, don't mess up now. I hope I don't fall. Here's point 3. Is that the right number of parentheses? I have no idea. And then, I think that's all I need. Let's see what happens. Yay! Oh, there's no outline, but who cares about outlines? Okay, so now we can do some like weird stuff. Like, I could add like 10 to this, and suddenly we'll get trapezoids. Oh no, we won't. We will not get trapezoids. That's weird. What if I change this to like 34 or 35? Okay, that's what I expected, but EX2, EY2, EX, EY, EY2. It's just 30. Why don't I see any results from that? I don't want to. Oh, maybe I do minus 30 or something weird. Okay, yeah, so we can create shapes that are not squares anymore, which is really good because you know, very rarely will the muscles actually look like pure squares. Okay, we're getting close, guys. I hope your adrenaline is starting to peak. That's like kind of weird. It shouldn't be doing that yet. Okay, so now I'm going to get 4 points from the actual creature's location. Okay, so one thing that happens is when a creature's DNA changes and it mutates so that like maybe the middle cell wants to be a lot bigger, I have to sort of simulate the creature jiggling and then calming down to equilibrium before I save that as their sort of calm equilibrium state before they even do any running at all. So, because otherwise they could just like spaz out like crazy and use that to boost themselves really far to the right. But I don't want to do that, so I have this function simulate, but simulate isn't just called when we want to test out the creatures. When we want to just create them, see initialize universe, I'm just commenting here. Everything I'm saying I should just comment. We want to make sure that all creatures, even in their initial state, are in calm equilibrium. They shouldn't be holding on to potential energy, e.g. compressed rings, because that could give you an unfair advantage that just doesn't make sense. Okay, so that's what this simulate is supposed to do. It's just supposed to calm you down, not supposed to test you. This is like the teacher giving you the pep talk before a test, saying like, you're all wonderful, valuable students. No matter what happens on this final exam, I still love you, before, you know, the test actually comes out. So the reason why that is important is, I don't know. When does the ID card get drawn? Draw creature. Get ID card. So the thing is, I don't want the ID card image to be drawn more than once, because that would just waste time, because it doesn't change. Oh. Oh, you know what? Oh, okay. I'm gonna make this not a get function, but this is gonna be a. So I have to draw creature ID card. Wait, why don't I just do this? So okay, this is ID card is gonna start out empty, and then when you call the function draw ID card, it's going to save it into its own ID card. So now we're not going to draw the ID card until you've calmed down, which means that, where's the function? It's called like initialize universe or something. I love using the word universe. It makes me feel like I am the god of some giant world. Okay, so now we're going to go through all of the oh yeah, here's the really cool thing. So you guys all know the power of for loops, but how they can also be slow since they're iterative. You can't like, what's the word? Streamline it somehow. So I have this for loop to create the creatures, but the simulation function is just a single line because I vectorized it, which is like, oh my god, that's amazing. But then the drawing ID cards at the end will be just a plain for loop, because that doesn't need to be optimized because it only happens once. So it should be calm by this point, which means that by the time we get here, we can assume all the points are in a calm location. So let's say, no, what the? No, I'm not done yet. I forgot. I need to transfer the node's coordinates back into the character. Okay. Stay calm. Self.calm state. Okay, I need a new function. Save calm state. And then, what do you feed into it? Well, okay, we're gonna get this. done. So node core. From calm state. Have gravity friction. Start index, index, frame count. Okay. All these parameters are, like, come from the same thing. Oh, I haven't looked at the chat for a while. Oh. Where's my... Okay, hi chat. Time to respond to you. Okay. I will answer 3 questions in the chat right now. Carrie tortures himself using Notepad++. I mean, I think the torturing comes from the coding project being difficult. Calmness meter -1. Edge is not as bad if you... Oh yeah, I'm using Edge. I'm using Edge and Chrome. I don't know why, but I just... Like, I thought I would try something new when I upgraded to an SSD. Why aren't you releasing any tracks? I don't rate any tracks. How do you get inspiration to start projects? I really don't know. I think, how have I been? I feel like it's like impossible to explain. I guess I see projects that I've done in the past, and I think, how can they be improved, but adding a special twist that makes it like worth a new video anyway? So like, you know, AI generates, I don't know, Jazz was an improvement over AI generates Baroque, but I also switched out the data set to make it new. Your for loop in initialized universe is wrong. Oh, is it initialized universe? I'll probably get to it. This? It looks fine to me. Well, if it's wrong, it'll error. But I'll get back to it soon. Okay, so the thing that I was going to talk about is these 3 parameters. Honestly, they should just be 1, which is like, are we simulating a test run? Or like, what do you call it? Are you doing the calming simulation, or are you doing the test? I want to use a different... Okay, examination. What's the word? Diagnostic? I'll just call it... Okay, I'll just say... Are you... No, like... Calming run. And it's just going to be a Boolean. If it's true, then we're doing the calming run. If it's false, we're doing the testing run. So now we don't need all of this, because this is just confusing. So here we are. That's the only time it's called. Okay, so calming run, there we go. Count node core from calm state. What? Node get. Okay, so you load the calm state if you're starting an exam. Why? Well, because if you're doing a calming run, you don't even have the calm state yet. Okay, so it's not calming run. Okay, the friction. Okay, so then friction. Oh, do you guys know about ternary operations? Like, you can do an if-else statement within 1 line. And I think it's true in Python and Java and pretty much all the main languages. So the friction should normally be the typical friction coefficient. But if it's the calming, well, you know, I don't want to say it. You know what I mean. You can just like read it. Honestly, Python's pretty like similar to English. So you do this if, wait, no, let me do this the other way around. This will make a billion sense soon. Calming friction coefficient. Calming friction coefficient is higher because I don't want to have any residual jiggling effects. You know, friction essentially takes energy out of the system, and that's what I want if I want to calm you down. So look at this. Friction equals your calming friction coefficient if it's a calming run, else do the typical one. So then that's fixed. And then the last thing, there's one other parameter that, oh, it's have gravity. Oh, have gravity. You have gravity if it's not a calming run. Like if it's test day. So there we go. Okay, so that's good. Let's see what happens. Line 28, there's a bug. Oh, because I didn't put anything in here. Let me just comment this out for now. I just want to make sure there's no bug. Oh, you guys know like a little bit about what version of Python I'm using now, which is creepy. You know I'm using Pygame 2.0.1. Okay, so draw ID card. C.draw ID card. Okay. Oh, this is gonna. Okay, the guy who said that this for loop was wrong was correct, which is so embarrassing because I said he wasn't correct and I was the one who was wrong. Draw ID card. Okay. So we're getting close. Now we just have to get to that last thing I said, where when you're done simulating, you save it to your calm state. So let's do. Okay, for loops are okay if they're like, in my opinion, if they're like one-dimensional, like they're only going to be run once, then they're okay. So at the very end of it, for each creature, we're gonna say creature C dot save calm state. And what are you gonna save it with? Well, we gotta feed it in node coordinates, and node coordinates is that like really big array, but we only want the cth index of it. So now we go into save calm state, and okay, this is gonna be the should be pretty easy. Print array.state. Oh, by the way, stream watchers, carry crew, whatever you want to call yourselves. I was thinking of getting back into like blindfolded Rubik's Cube solving. I know that's kind of like a niche thing, but I know that some speedcubers will stream that, and like it's cool because, you know, when you're solving blind, you can't see anything. So it's like when you mess up, you don't really know what went wrong. But if other people are watching, then they can sort of like look out for you and then tell you exactly like everything got messed up at this timestamp. So I might do that in the distant future. Oh, not shape. Okay, so I want to find the shape. Oh, it's 664, which doesn't make sense. Wait, that's perfect sense because we have a 6x6 grid of nodes, and each node has 4 different types of coordinates: x, y, x velocity, y velocity. Okay, so cool. So now I guess all I have to do is say calm state equals that. Like, that's literally it. Wait, that's ridiculously short. I'm like, the shorter the function, the better. Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay, so now all I have to do is go in here, and instead of having these random coordinates, like, do you see how like meaningless these are? Instead, I'm gonna say 0.1 x coordinate. So this, think of this as like the upper left or something. It's going to be your calm state, but it's going to be the xth index on the first axis, the yth index on the second axis, and 0 means that we're looking at the x coordinate. And then p1y is that, but with a 1. I'm gonna have 8 lines of this. There's gotta be a way to make this more concise, but conceptually speaking, this is very simple. Like, I won't have to do the weird Sudoku thinking like I did earlier on. Like, this pretty much explains itself. So we wanted to cycle around a square or a quadrilateral, so we're just gonna like +1 to get to the guy on the right, +1 for y to go upward, and then move back to here. Okay, so now you have 4 points, all with 2 coordinates. So I just do p1x. Oh wait, it's gonna be extremely small. It's gonna look really small for now, but this is just a sanity check again. Not everything has to look perfectly to start with. p3x, p3y. I'm actually kind of excited because I have only ever seen perfect squares up until now. What are we gonna see now? They'll be really, really tiny, I bet. Oh no. Oh right, in Python you have to do self dot. If you want to access an object's own variables, you have to tell it, like, these belong to yourself. No? Alright. Alright. Draw ID card. You're making me angry. Why? Save calm state. Didn't you? Didn't you already save a calm state? That happened at the end of simulate. Oh wait, first of all, this should only happen if you're doing a calming run. Oh. One other thing is, like, I have so many options. Oh, people are typing monkey again. Nice to see some code. What languages don't have that construct? It's usually this dot. I think in Java, it's like if you're within an object's constructor, or not even their constructor, but just like a class, you just say, you know, height to refer to this dot height. So I guess it, like, maybe a Java is the odd one out in that case, and most languages are like Python. None type object is not subscriptable. I don't understand. Like, didn't you already... Wait, does it even get here? Print. I got here. Yeah. I have to be careful with, like, oh yeah, it did get there, so it should be going through everything. My debug statements, I can't put swear words in them because I'm on stream, but usually I put, like, the worst swear words imaginable. And one time, here's a story time, so you guys should keep your eyes open. Yeah, okay, it did a billion times. I was in a class at Stanford where you had to submit code, which is like in almost every class. And I left in a debug statement. And I knew the TA who was grading it, and like, she wasn't that much older than me, so I felt like it wasn't as bad because I felt like she could understand my jokes, but I had just taken like Japanese as a language class, and I put like this Japanese sentence. It was weird, and then like in her review of my work, she highlighted that line and said, like, do not, or like, delete debug statements before submitting, please. I felt so embarrassed. Like, she didn't even refer to like what I said in Japanese, but whatever. Okay, so once you get to this point, wait, don't tell me. Oh my god, this is supposed to be self. I bet some of you already saw that, but that's why calm state didn't exist, because I didn't say that, you know, your self's calm state should be there. Yeah, so that's my story about debug statements. Print where the command file. I'm about to end this guy's whole career. My career. Oh, that's it, guys. These are the creatures, but they're so small. But still, like, promising. Now I just need to make them like 10 times bigger. Okay, let's make you bigger. How to make you bigger? Let me think. Oh, I know a way to make this more efficient. Let's say, that wasn't a fart again, just to let you know. We do points. So here's the plan. I'm gonna make an array of 4 points, 4p in range 4, points 0. No, points p. Oh wait. Oh, I know what I can do. I can do this, and then 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 x plus p mod 2. Wait, is this right? Yeah, x plus p. Wait, no, let me make this another thing. Let me call this like point x, and then this is this, and py equals y plus p integer division 2. So some of you beginning programmers out there, you should know that, in my opinion, modular division and integer division often go hand in hand like this, because if you iterate over p from 0 to 4 or whatever, this formation will create every possible combination of values for x and y. Like, no matter what numbers you use. So like if you want to loop over a square of like 10 by 10 entries, it'll work as well. Okay, so that should work, and then here I can just do can I just put points in here? Is that gonna work? I don't know if that's gonna work. Oh, that works. Okay, so cool. Now, okay, here's the cool thing about having this all be one line of code now. I can just multiply this by 50 or 40. Let's do 40. Okay, I'm gonna... Let's have the chat open here. How many people are still watching? 160. Okay, so what's gonna happen? Oh, errors. Okay, points must be number of pairs? I thought it was. I guess it was like a NumPy array or something. Oh. It worked before, which means the times 40 should be inside here because we have two numbers. Okay, I thought that was gonna work, but that looks really weird. Oh, wait, no, I know why this is happening. It's because it's not going through the points in the right order. It's doing upper left, upper right, bottom left, bottom right, which is not correct. So the way I would fix this is... I don't know. I'll do px minus... Let me think. I could just do something like... I'm trying to think of a clever way to do this. Oh, I know what I can do. Because there's only 4, so it's like you can be really clever and say... when p is 1 or 2, so the middle 2 entries is when x should be bigger. So let me say... how should I make this like integer division-y? You know, I'll just do like if math and then I'll make it simpler later. Or p equals 3. Like that. Like there's some way to, there's definitely a way to combine these into one line of code, but I won't do that right now. Okay, I don't want these bow tie looking things. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, this would be 1 and 2. Yeah, it wasn't hitting every point of the... There we go. Okay, so we get the squares back, but we don't see any movement. And that's probably because the jiggling was so minute, it's not noticeable. But here's the good news. Let's just... I have all these coefficients for, you know, muscle coefficient. That's just a multiplier for how strong the jiggling is. Python is like English. Okay, so Lumpy Root says Python is like English except the grammar is all messed up. That is definitely true. Okay, here we go. You see that, guys? There's like ever so slightly different points. Like you can see they're like wavering a little bit. Okay, so that's cool. I noticed that because the ID cards are like clipped at the edges, they'll always have perfectly straight lines, and that's not what I want. So let me go into the draw ID card line and say that draw a creature ID card. This should be like, I should add in a margin of, I don't know, I'll just say for now 50. Well, the ID card is 200 pixels by 200 pixels. So let's say we have a margin of 40 on each side, which means we have 120 by 120 workable region in the middle. But because it's a 5 by 5 square, and I shouldn't put magic numbers, but for now I'm going to. 24 will give us the room. Oh, okay, I think that should be it. There, so now we have a bit more wiggle room. A lot more wiggle room. What I'm going to do next is put them closer together because we actually don't need that much extra space. Now, because they're smaller. Cool! You can see they're looking a little organic, you know. They're not perfectly straight. And I'm going to, let's make the muscle coefficient 1.0, like huge. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, wow, okay. Wow, that's, well, okay, they're still getting clipped on the edges. But you can start to see how like evolution might work here because they're already having to take on different shapes, which might walk better. Okay, I have an idea. Let's have the ID card have a background color so that I can tell when the edge of the ID card is being hit. You know what I mean? It's like if you have a Pokemon card and it just is the same color as your table and you put it on the table, you can't tell when when the card ends and the table begins. But if I make it like a dark gray, I should be able to tell. Okay, that answers my question partially. But oh, ooh, what is this? What is what? These aren't used. These should totally be used. Okay, I don't know why. They're supposed to be like translate X, translate Y. I don't know why I didn't add them in, but they should be added. And then Big Chungus Gaming. Why are they talking about Big? Isn't Big Chungus from like 2 years ago? That's a dead meme. Carrie, is that disgusting RGB gradient? Yeah, it's a RGB gradient. I'm using it to debug. Okay. Don't hurt me. Okay, I can get rid of these. And let's add a little bit of a margin, like 210. Look at that. That's much better. There's no hard edges anywhere. Okay, so the next thing I want you to realize is this is after only one frame of letting the muscles do their work, which means that like if you were to keep running it, they're already moving so far away from the original location that like they're just moving way too fast. So here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to lower the muscle coefficient back down to like 0.1 or even lower, and I'm going to run it for more frames. So you can see it's barely changed. I'll make it even lower, like 0.03. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to draw creature mosaic. I'm going to alternate between, well, okay, for simulate, if I just purely wanted to get to an equilibrium after running it for like 200 frames, I could just increase this number from 1 to 200. Actually, what happens if I do that, like 100 or something? I don't know if that's right or not. That looks kind of weird. But we don't see an animation because it's not drawing it every single frame. So I want to change something. Get starting node core. If not, I'm going to say that like it's only going to load it from nowhere. Or it's only going to create a new thing if your COM state doesn't exist, it'll create a new COM state, but otherwise it'll just load from your old COM state. So what I think I can do now is alternate between these two lines. Okay, yeah, this is really bad coding, but I'm just gonna try it. If I alternate between these lines of code that will simulate one frame of the creature's jiggling and alternate between that and then drawing the mosaic, I think I should be able to see movement. Let's look. No, that did not work. 73. Oh. I'll just put a 0, because if one creature doesn't have a calm state, then none do. 81. Oh, calm state. Okay, you know, I'm going to delete this. Because calm state shouldn't have a velocity, but it does. Whoa, guys, are you seeing this? Okay, I think some math is wrong because they don't look completely natural. But, like, do you see the kind of, like, jiggling? That was satisfying. Like, I think what's cool about this is, like, I'm not using anyone's, like, physics simulator. It's just sort of math. It's like NumPy mathematical functions. So I'm really happy about that. But it still doesn't look quite right. Like, I don't think... They all look taller than they are wide, and given that I have no gravity in effect right now, there should be no bias towards one direction or the other. So I think somewhere in there my math is wrong. Okay, let me try something where... Okay, right now... Oh yeah, I'm getting a lot of OMGs, woes, and hell yeahs in the chat. Thanks for all the enthusiasm. I see a lot more monkeys. Big Chungus Gaming is posting monkey like 100 times. Okay. So what I'm gonna try is, right now, the random length that a muscle can take is like anywhere between 50% and 150% the typical. But what if I make it so that there's not as much variation? Like, you're almost always within the same range of around 100%. If that's the case, then I should expect to see less jiggling and being closer to the average. So let's just sanity check. Okay, it's a little closer to average, but all the weirdness is going up and down, which is... In fact, there's very little horizontal action going on. Okay, just a sanity check. If I make this like 0, I should see no movement, because everyone's in a happy location. Yeah, I see no movement. But that's a good sanity check, because I was worried for a second that... Oh, I see a bunch of eggs in the chat. That's making me extremely nervous. Anyway, the diagonal... Like, remember how the X... like, every muscle cell has, like, this X shape in the middle of it? The tendons that go across the diagonals have to be square root 2 longer than the ones that go along the, like, edges. So I was worried if I didn't do that square root of 2 calculation correctly, there would be jiggling in this instance, but there isn't. So everything is working well. I think like, the stream's almost over, so thank you for showing up. But I want to fix this bug where, like, there's vertical jiggling, but no horizontal jiggling. Also, whenever you see, like... Do you see how, in this creature in the upper middle or something? Like, there's one row of cells that gets entirely, like, eclipsed or... like inverted, so you can't see it at all. I would equate that to, like, I don't know if this word is okay to say, but a prolapsed body part, like a body part that like flipped inside out, and it shouldn't. I'm not gonna say that anymore. But basically, I was aware that that could happen, and in order to prevent that, you just need to make your muscles rigider, which evolution can do. Okay, but why is the vertical axis happening more than the horizontal? I have an idea. Let's... Oh, this is really cool. We can isolate each of the motions. So if I comment... No, if I multiply everything by 0 except for the horizontal motion, I should only see horizontal activity. Oh, I don't. Okay, that is weird. What if I multiply all these by 0, I should see no action whatsoever. And I do not. Which is good. Okay, so if I bring in what is... Wait. So left and right. So this should be vertical motion. That's nothing. Okay, that is a good sign that something's up. The fact that this was not... Bringing these middle lines back in caused nothing to happen. That's a sign that something's wrong. And then if I bring in the top two, there was action. And if I bring in the bottom two, which are the diagonal tendons, there's also nothing. So it's almost as if only the top two lines are contributing anything. Which, they all should be contributing something, because all tendons are important. All of them have an effect. Yeah, see, the jiggling comes back. What if I only bring in one of them? Then if I bring in one, I think it'll only, like, the whole thing will move in one direction, which will look really silly. Okay, that is not what I expected, but that is interesting. Okay, so what is going on? Oh my god, these are all saying 0. So, like, Dyer's looping from 0 to 6 here, but I need to index the correct muscle attraction. So, duh. Wait, oh my god, so that means, like, everything was wrong. Like, essentially, what was happening was the program was asking, like, function, which way or how much should I move this node in the y direction? And then the function would say, however much you move in the x direction. How much should I move in the diagonal direction? However much you move it in the x direction. So it's like, it was essentially taking all the information, or no, it was taking the x information and spreading it to all other dimensions. So if I do this, what about now? Oh, they shrink. They shrink. Did you see that? It's like they compress. That's weird. They shouldn't be shrinking, but I think that's more natural. Like, that looks a lot more correct if you ignore the shrinking. And let's bring in the muscle variety again, back in again, to see if we get different shapes. So I'm going to change this back to 1.0, which is... Okay, we're getting different shapes. Oh, I love this, I love this. This is looking so much more natural. Like, I had envisioned this in my head so many times, like, during late nights when I tried to think about how this project was going to go, but I didn't know if these shapes would actually get formed. Like, do you see how, like, this guy almost has, like, 2 legs? Oh, by the way, this is an evolution simulator. It's called... I think I'm going to call it Evolution Simulator. Jelly Evolution Simulator. I think I'm going to call it Jelly Evolution Simulator. Yeah, like... Oh, you know what would be really fun is that if I could click on one of these cells and drag it around. Like, I just have the impulse to do that right now. Okay, so... this is looking really promising. The only thing that I'm confused by is why do they tend to shrink? Like, they should, on average, stay the same size. Yeah, my idea is like, so as evolution happens, occurs, different cells in the body can choose to become bigger or smaller, but they can also choose to become more or less rigid. So, you know, if you make a certain chunk of cells extremely not rigid, it's almost like they're not there at all. And that sort of lets you have appendages. That's like my biggest goal. I mean, that's kind of like a pipe dream though. Okay, so I'm gonna... oh, another thing that happens is... every muscle cell has a desired size, but it actually gets more specific than that. Right now they have a desired width and a desired height. So a cell can want to become like a long, tall, vertical cell or a like horizontal, flat cell. Okay, so... where's that function? I'm having trouble thinking. Here it is. Okay, so if I change this to 0.0 again, so everyone wants to be the same length, they shrink, which shouldn't happen. Like, across the board, they're shrinking. It might have to do with the diagonals. If I remove the diagonal... it's just so fun that I can just go in and say times 0 to negate the entire diagonal tendons. Like, this is the fun part of programming. It's like, once it works and you know what to tinker with, it's just a playground. Okay, so look at that. When I disabled the diagonal tendons, they did not shrink, which means that the diagonal tendons are too tight. I love how like this can kind of be an analogy to the human body. It's like, you know, if you are a like physical therapist and you're trying to like help someone move their joints and they're like, this joint is too tight, and that's why you don't have as much mobility. Well, that's what I can do here. I can like pinpoint the cause of the problem. So it's the diagonals that are the problem here. And why is that happening? Well, this function, this array M, I didn't tell you guys this, but when it's... So every muscle has 4 traits as well. This is a coincidence that's the same number as every node, but the traits are... what are they? I'm quizzing myself. I don't remember. Oh, 0 is the desired width, 1 is the desired height, 2 is rigidity, and 3 is like the desired diagonal, but the diagonal is calculated from the other 2 because it's like a right triangle, and you know, it shouldn't be its own trait. Like, Yeah, so this line of code right here is supposed to do that operation. It's supposed to be saying, look at a muscle's desired length, look at a muscle's desired width, or height, I don't know, whatever, and do Pythagorean theorem to figure out what the desired diagonal should be. But for whatever reason, they're ending up too short. What if I just do a times 2 or something stupid? Like, that makes no sense, but they still shrink. Don't tell me this is like 0 or in some way being negated. Okay, this is getting confusing. I should change this to 3. Not that it makes a difference. Okay, this is a mystery. So people are commenting uwu and owo. Someone says we're using Java. Oh, any advice for someone starting their coding journey in college? We're using Java. Yeah, I know that a lot of colleges or courses in general start with Java, and I think that's because it's a typed language, so it's more structured, and like it doesn't let you get away with as much nonsense. I would say, like, whenever you start a project, make it as small and simple as possible. Like, don't start with your dream project. Like, don't start by making like a huge, complicated game that you've thought of for years and years. Try to make like the simplest tic-tac-toe game or something, and like then work your way up. And like the reason why that's really cool is because, you know, if you get burnt out halfway through, if you do a ton of small projects, you'll at least have, you know, 5 or 6 projects that are finished to show for. Whereas if the dream project, if you burn out halfway through, you have nothing, which has happened to me many times. So that's my recommendation. Yeah. Okay. What's going on here? Oh, wait. Get distance array. So it could either... Wait, hold up. So if I literally change this to like some ridiculous number, like look at that number. Do you see all those digits? Does it even have an effect? It has no effect. If I change like 0 to that, though, it's gonna like make it go crazy. What? It seems like whatever is happening on this line is not affecting... It's not affecting the simulation at all. Muscles, apply muscles, muscles. I mean, it is running through here though, like it has to. Like if I just do m times equals 2, they should get bigger, right? Like... I'm so confused. What? I feel like I'm watching the same video over and over again. N times equals 2. What? Okay, so this function that I think should have an effect but isn't. Get muscle array. Make it 99999. It's already not having an effect, so there's some other issue. Muscles. And then muscles gets used here. Oh yeah, one more thing that isn't in this simulation yet, but will be, is that there's... Right now I'm gonna have 4 beats. So like, as the clock ticks, it will go between 4 beats, kind of like music, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And every muscle, like all the traits I mentioned earlier that a muscle has, it has 4 unique sets of those traits for every single beat. So you can, so the creature can take like 4 different poses for, you know, each beat, and so that helps you kind of create motion. But that shouldn't affect this at all. M equals 0. I'm this close to just screaming. What? What? Good muscle array. What if I like multiply... At some point if I multiply it by 0... Okay, let's do it by like 0.1 so it doesn't create errors. I am confused. Muscles. Apply muscles. Okay, we're getting closer and closer to the actual place where it happens. Okay, what if I do it in here? Like, at some point, as I like work my way deeper and deeper into the layers of code, there will be a point at which me multiplying 0.1 into everything will change things. So it didn't there, which means we have to go deeper. Literally, we have to go deeper into the recursive layer. Not recursive, but into the stack. Down into get muscle attraction. What? Oh, it's just multiplied by 0.0 this whole time. So that means... What does that mean? Oh, because there's no muscle variety. That's what it meant. Oh, I know. Okay, I know the source of all the problems now. Like, I think it calculated the square root correctly, so the diagonal tendons were the correct length. But then when it got to this part, it was turning all of those into, it was compressing them all into one. Yeah, I mean, setting it to 1 makes it work. Like, it worked before, right? With the... Okay, it didn't. Oh no, that's because I didn't do the square root thing. I forgot to do this. I like when they shrivel up, it's like that meme when, like, you know, there's that like 3D face that cringes at something that they did 5 years ago. So yeah, when it's 1, everything works perfectly because there's variety, but then the diagonals are also correct. But I want to be able to say... like, I want to be able to tell the muscles to have all the same length everywhere without having the diagonals mess things up. So I think what I'm going to do is... Honestly, if I just put M in here, and like this whole expression here is just... Okay, so like in the creature's DNA, my plan is to make it all be a vector of points like in high dimensional space, where every value is from 0 to 1. Or no, let me think about this. Would it make more sense if it was centered at 0? I don't know. I'll figure that out for later. But I can just do this expression earlier on. I can do it right here. And I should do it right here. So like this should have the same effect, I think. Yeah, it has the same effect, but now if I change this to 0.00, we should just get no moving. Yes, okay, there we go, there we go. Now the diagonals are the correct length. So I learned my lesson. Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, so, you know, we humans have DNA in the form of C, T, A, and G codeines, or codons, or whatever, base pairs. But my thought is that for these creatures, it should just be a vector in high dimensional space so that it's easier for me to, for example, take the midpoint of two creatures to find their child offspring. So we're talking like sexual reproduction, hooray. But I'm thinking if we're just imagining all these points as being in high dimensional space, it might be nice if they were technically centered around 0, 0, 0. Let's say they have 0, centered around 0, and standard deviation of 1, so it's like normally distributed. Okay, let's see. So, okay, we're getting really close to like where I want to stop today, but I have some function to create DNA. It's right here, and like this is so simple. It's like for every DNA base pair, just choose a random normal number. Right now I have like mean 0.5, standard deviation 0.15, but I'm changing that to 0 and 1 because I think that just, it might make math work out more easily later. But what that means is that for the muscles, they should be like this. Like I'm no longer centered at 0.5, I'm centered at 0. And well, The thing about normal distributions is that they technically add recessive and dominant genes. Oh yeah, I could definitely do that in the future by like having every single trait not just be like the value of that trait itself, but like how dominant or recessive it is. Hi, Coffee Cake. So you said, I got here 8 minutes into the stream. Well, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. Anyway, okay, so this should look the same. Oh, right, the coloring. Oh, the coloring looks spooky, but that's because I changed the scale. This is scary. Like, I feel like this is an image I would see in my nightmares. I'm just kidding. Okay, so let me bring this back. I was going to say, the thing about normal distributions is that they have no theoretical upper or lower limit, so there's always going to be a chance that I'll have like a negative muscle, or like a muscle that's extremely, extremely long. But I think I'm going to clip it at... Wait. How far does 2 standard deviations go? I forget. 2 standard deviations. Is that 2 sigma? Is that enough to get most people? 3 is better, I guess. Okay, so I will divide this by 3 then. So if you have a DNA value of -3, which is theoretically possible, because it's 3 standard deviations out, your muscle length will literally be 0. And if it's lower than that, you'll have a muscle length of negative. And I don't even want to think about that. Well, they got bigger on average. Does that make sense? Why would they get... Okay, well, first of all, let me fix the coloring. Color... Where does color? Color comes from here. Traits to color. Oh, traits to color. Yeah, we are no longer going from 0 to 1. We are going... Let's see. 128 is the center point. And we want to divide by 3 and multiply by 128. And the same thing for traits 1. So this should get our coloring back. I think I can fit... That looks really bad. It's just like the middle. It's too close to the middle. I can fix the problem of them growing later. I don't know why... I don't know why this keeps happening. Oh, it wants them to be ints. Isn't color a continuous spectrum? Shouldn't we be using floating points anyway? Yeah. Okay. Oh no, it was because it was going beyond 0 to 255. Okay. It wants to play this way. It wants to be annoying. Min, max. Wait. I can just do np.clip. So we're gonna do it this way. Yeah, I think that's one of the problems is that now I will never know a theoretical limit. So I have to prepare for extreme values. Oh, that's not right. Ooh, that's weird. Kind of cool though. Oh, it's because, yeah. Why is the frame rate slower? What? That makes no sense. Why would the frame rate just get slower because I changed the coloring? Wait, if I just do... Okay, the frame rate's back. Maybe np.clip is really slow, or... That'd be so funny if it was np.clip having some stupid inefficiency. Probably not. It's probably something on my side. But either way, I caused... Okay, frame rate's back. I don't like these colors. Whatever. Why are these colors so bright? Shouldn't there be colors getting close to black? Oh, I don't like... I thought... okay, yeah, I thought they would look the same, but I guess not. Okay. Yeah, well, I think this is a good stopping point for this stream. Because, like, At this point, all the tweaks are going to be minor, and I think you know what to expect. But where's my live stream tab? Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, I'll just read through comments now, and I won't code or debug. Bring the neon ones back? I probably could by just changing this to 1. Yeah, like, this should be neon already. Wait, okay. No, stop. Okay, something is... Because let's think about it. Traits is supposed to be normally distributed, so -1 should be a very common value to get, because that's only one standard deviation down. And if you get -1, this whole expression turns into 0, which should shine through. So what that is telling me is that traits are never being set to -1. Okay, I promise this will be the last bug I'm actually fixing. Traits to color. Like, okay, if I just put in -1, just to prove it, I should get black colors, like very dark colors, right? Yeah, I get black. And then when I replace that with traits, there should be values very close to black, but there aren't, which is why everyone's growing. So this is like 2 problems in one. Like, the fact we have very bright creatures and the fact that they're all growing stems from the same disease. Some sort of jaundice, I guess, because they're looking very yellow. Yeah, it's Notepad++. Carry 128 you're adding. Yeah, well, no, like, that's not the problem here, because color is from 0 to 255, and I want 0, which is the center point of the DNA, to be at, like, the central brightness. What I'm saying is, like, there should be quite a lot of tiles that are at -1 or lower, which should go down to 0, and I'm not seeing that. So I'm kind of confused why that's happening, because DNA here is set to mean 0, standard deviation 1, right? Okay, I know what I can just do. Here's a real simple way I can do it. What if I just literally print self.dn like this, and I'll see like tons of numbers go by in here. Tons of numbers. And nothing below 0 or 1, and nothing below 0, so that's like really bad. Wait, can you see that? It might be covered up by my face cam, but basically that's our problem. It's still being clipped between 0 and 1, which it shouldn't be. Print DNA. Wait. Oh my god, I'm clipping it right here. See 0, 1? Oh, that shouldn't be happening. I forgot this np.clip right here. That shouldn't be happening. Let's say you can't go below 3 and 3. So like if you have above 3 standard deviations, we're gonna bring you back to 3. Just for your initial conditions, just because we don't want any like crazy creatures. There we go, we're back. Yeah, I fixed it, I'm so smart. These creatures are kind of crazy. Yeah. I'm happy with this as a stopping point. Like, I think everything is fixed. Okay, one like last check. If I just do ×0, they shouldn't move. Perfect. Bring that back. This is day 1 of Evolution Simulator coding. I think this is about... Wait, okay, so I did an hour and a half of coding before stream, and so far I've been How long is the stream? Just about 2 hours, so this is 3.5 hours of coding, and I'm already pleased with the results, because this is like the baseline of the physics. Okay, yeah, so thanks for watching. Oh, okay, I'll answer questions because some people showed up late, or a lot of people because it's been 2 hours. So StingPie52 asks, could you go over the goal of this project again? Okay, so I want to make a new evolution simulator, and I haven't made one since 2017, but like my goal for this new one is 1, make it with Python so I can take advantage of NumPy array operations. 2, I want to use this sort of jelly body, I don't know what you call it, skeleton, instead of the like nodes with muscles that you saw in Evolution Simulator, because it's just a lot more fun, and also we can do fun things with it, such as sexual reproduction, because you can combine two creatures and have them combine their genes, which didn't happen in the original simulator. And I also want to add in a bunch of other evolutionary effects, like I want to have a simulator where you could separate creatures onto two separate islands and have them evolve like separately with different environmental conditions. Like maybe one has snow, so it's slippery, and the other one has mountains, so it's like the terrain is bumpy, and then like bring them together later. And then like, will they be able to have children who can function? That would be really interesting to see. So there's a ton of evolutionary phenomena that I think can still be explored, but it needs kind of a revamped kind of biology, which is like what I'm making right now. Let's change the music. This music's getting boring. Hush, hush. We're gonna go with Evola Calf. Fake love spelled backwards. You know this one? With like the high squeaking? Can you hear it? Maybe it's quiet. How loud is it? Oh wait, no, it's really loud. Well, whatever. Let me turn it down. Besides, the most important thing is my talking. Okay, let me look at more questions. Introduce monetary systems and see if they create and eventually abolish feudalism, Lazy Cage? Like for the evolution simulator? That would be like so advanced. Like, do you realize... Oh my god, why is this music so loud? In my ear, at least. Do you realize that it took 3.5 billion years for life on Earth to go from sexual reproduction, which is my goal here, to monetary systems where people could like trade capital and all that? Like, it took nature, which is better, like nature's more powerful than mankind, and it took nature billions of years. So I would be very surprised and impressed if these guys did it. I don't think I'm going to have these creatures interact on a like large scale. Like, they're going to all do their tests on their own, and they won't really be aware of each other's existence. It's just that's what they are. Like, it's like they're competing without knowing who their competitors are. Maybe later they'll have them all interact in the same world. What if I make the muscle coefficient even lower? Like, it will be like slow and gradual, and eventually it reaches an equilibrium. Okay, yeah, let me just look at some more questions. How do you start something like this? After inspiration and getting a basic plan, what do you do first? Yeah, so I think for me, oh, by the way, this was asked by Circuit Board, but the eyes are replaced with ones, which is cool. For me, I had this idea of doing the evolution simulator for like months, or the jelly evolution simulator, but I was intimidated by the thought of like first starting also, because it's like, when it's all working, what piece came first? It feels like it all sort of showed up at once. I think, how did I start this? I mean, I have it all on camera, so I could find out, but I think like it's really intimidating to start, but in terms of like coding, I created the class first, like class creature, because I knew I'm going to use it in some way or another, and like that kind of lets you have fun, because when you write this like constructor for a creature, you know that it's going to have DNA, you know it's going to have a column state and an ID card, but you don't have to like worry about creating them yet. So it's like when you're coding it, it's like within 10 seconds you're like, I gave it DNA, I gave it a column state, I gave it an ID card, and you feel like you did a lot of work, but you actually haven't. And I think that's a good way to get started, is the constructors. It gives you all the slots that you know you'll have to fill in later. Yeah, so that's my suggestion for that. Could you please add back the neon pink purple? Oh, okay. People want the neon. Okay, I'll add the pink purple. Right now it's red and green. I don't know why you guys don't like red and green. Do you have something against Christmas? But the reason why I think that's funny is because all you have to do to go from red and green to pink and purple is just increase the blue value from 0 to 255. So like, there we go. I guess that does look better. Well, it's crazy how much that changes the vibe of this. Like, it doesn't even give us any extra information, but it just looks, I don't know, kind of like Vaporwave, Cyberpunk 2077. I haven't even played that game yet, so what do I know? Okay. I will answer more questions. Nanocell Music says red and green should never be seen. I guess I could see that. Oh, by the way, I think the colors very roughly correspond to how big the cells want to be. So like the white cells want to be bigger, so you can see like typically when a white cell shows up, it's taking a lot of space. And the blue cells are trying to be smaller, I think. It's hard to know for sure. And I think one color channel corresponds to height and the other one corresponds to length. Okay. Chairleg69 asks, how are you today, Carrie? I'm 100 billion% worse seeing a username with the number 69 in it. Ugh, I'm cringing at the thought. T Swanee asks, Carrie answers a question directly above mine this time, Lamau. That wasn't a question. Maybe I have to scroll up to find it. Too much scrolling. Oh, Vaporwave Evolution Sim. Will you make the program that counts someone's total YouTube likes? Do you mean likes on comments or likes on videos? Because as it stands, there's a single YouTube API call that can already get the total likes across all your videos. I don't think it exists for comments, and I know I mentioned that I wanted to make something like that in a video or something, but I don't know how. Like, I think I'd have to do some research on how to like get a list of every comment you've ever made, since that's not something that YouTube seems to want to be super public. Yeah, I like this palette. It's like definitely different from the first Evolution Simulator, so people will think it's new and fresh. Okay. Xenon Max asks, besides sexual reproduction, what features do you want to add to this version of the simulator that weren't in the previous one? Ooh, here's a big one that I just remembered. So, you might remember in the first Evolution Simulator, I defined species by the number of nodes and muscles each creature had. I never liked that idea because creatures can have mutations that make them completely different, but they could be considered the same species because they have the same number of nodes and muscles. And it wasn't really a good indicator of like how species actually evolve, because in the real world they will slowly drift apart and it's sort of fuzzy and you won't know exactly when they're two separate species. But you know, my simulator was saying like, here's a definitive line. So what I'm thinking is all these creatures' DNAs are points in high dimensional space. So you can use algorithms with like no bias whatsoever. I think there's like k-means is an example of one algorithm to cluster these points into groups. And that way you can like mathematically calculate when you have, you know, 3 different clusters and when does it turn into 4. And there aren't any like hard lines based on how many nodes you have. So it's just, to me, it feels a lot more fluid, organic, and fair. So that's one thing I want to add. Oh, I also want to add like different landscapes. So they have to go up a staircase, or I don't know, or do tug of war. Like maybe they can, like 2 creatures are back to back and they're trying to pull in opposite directions, and there's like a little gemstone in the middle, and whichever side of the board that gemstone is on at the very end of the 15 seconds, the other creature gets killed. That could be cool, because then like creatures have to sort of strategize against each other. How often do you plan on live streaming? I don't know, because okay, this was asked by Francis. No, it's asked by Holler1212. Like every few weeks that go by, I tell myself, why don't I just become like a daily live streamer, like on Twitch or on YouTube? Because it's not that hard. It takes no prep work, and I just kind of get going. I guess it depends if people want it. like I've always felt like whenever I stream, I don't get that many viewers compared to, you know, a well-polished, well-edited video. And so that's why I feel like it's more worth my time to just, you know, do it off screen, you know, figure out what I actually want to include in the video and make an edited version. So I guess it just depends on how many people tune in. Yeah. Okay, cool. YouTube is better than Twitch. Yeah, I think that for me, YouTube is better because, I guess, you know, that's where I've been building my audience for the last 13 years, and there's no reason to change that. That was asked by Philosophical Isaac. I want to mention every username so that if you ask the question, you get the credit. Yeah, wait, it'll be so fun when I can add in the different beats, you know, the different poses I was talking about, because then you see the creature change shape every split second. Okay. T Swanee agrees, YouTube is much better than Twitch, that's a fact. Neonic asks, what is your opinion on the number 57? I don't know, it's 3 times 19, co-prime. Kind of cool. Nick Ronka asks, my friend is a computer science major. That is quite cool. I was a computer science major as well. It's definitely a very popular and, I guess, well sought after field these days. You probably need to build up a consistent amount of viewers for streams since people are currently used to uploads every few months. Yeah, I know that people will get you. Oh, that was asked by Jian Kai Feng. I know that, you know, what you do is what people will get used to, so you have to like commit to something before it starts to pay off. But I'm just not good at commitment. Oh, I shouldn't say it on camera. I'm not good at commitment in terms of online projects. That's what I'll say. Well, that's not true. I mean, I did BFDI and like, you know, for years and years, and it never ended. Well, I guess that also ended, but we won't talk about that. Is P equal to NP? If I could answer that, I would already be $1 million richer. So clearly I don't have the answer. Okay, let's see. I think I'll end it in the next 3 to 5 minutes. It will be over. I guess I could like try to do something. What should I do interesting with this simulator to entertain you guys? It's entertaining enough. Just look at the different shapes, you know, like they look like gemstones, so shiny. Okay, oh, hi Keaton Ellis. Oh my god. Keaton says hi, fellow speedcuber. I have a speedcube with me right now. California is pretty good. It's raining really hard right now, which is kind of rare because California is usually a desert. So I think having rain is good for the environment. Okay, Scratch Gaming Ida 12 says, do you remember the scale of the universe? When I was younger, I loved it. I do remember the scale of the universe. Actually, 3 days ago was Scale of the Universe's 11th birthday, and I made a YouTube video talking about that. I like to say that, you know, I experienced viral fame before that was common. You know, like January 2010, like that's longer ago than, I don't know, most of this culture of going viral or gaining clout. So I think that is, even though that, like that's not something that that's not a hill I want to die on, it is sort of just an achievement that I want, like I kind of like to carry along with me. How do you pronounce GIF? This was asked by Chairlake69. I pronounce it GIF. If you pronounce it GIF, you are still allowed in my kingdom. You just have to be a servant. I shouldn't say that so bad. Okay, BFDI and SO2 were made less than a month apart. What a month. Yeah, actually, it's really interesting that happened. So, like, what I think people should realize is that we started working on BFDI episode 1 around August 2009. And I remember, like, I actually told Michael, I want to get this video out sooner. Like, I don't want to wait until the new decade. That's 4 whole months away. I can't wait that long. But, you know, it was a 17-minute animation, so we sort of needed every day we could get. And so, like, August through December 2009 is when BFDI was worked on. And, like, Scale of the Universe, that was just, like, a 3 or 4 day weekend. I think it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. like in mid-January. So like they weren't simultaneous, but they're very close, which I think is fun. Also, it means I've gone downhill. I peaked in 2010 and I've never reached those heights ever again. Oh, Cool Boy says, if you can read this, say Teapot is epic. Teapot is epic. It is beyond all humanly known levels of epicness. Someone pronounces it Yif? Isn't that like the furry thing? I don't know if I should even talk about that. You shouldn't Google it, but it definitely exists. Okay, what do you think of C# compared to other languages? I've only ever used C#. Oh, this was asked by Nikki Flello. I've only ever used C# in Unity. By the way, this music's getting annoying. We gotta switch it up. I've only ever used C# in Unity, and I never got that familiar with it. Like, I think it was something that I was constantly Googling how to do things, so I feel like I can't really say. We're listening to Gamla now. Okay. I'm not a furry! Oh no, this is how the rumors start, isn't it? I want Gamma to be loud, and then I'll turn it down. Because like I want you to recognize it's here. Your thoughts on 2020? Definitely a bad year. Like people always say like, oh, last year was the worst year. I know they said that a lot in 2016 because of a lot of celebrity deaths. And I always felt like that was just recency bias taking effect, where people just remember every event from 2016, but they don't remember the bad from like 1957. They only remember the good historical events. So I was like, you can't just say 2016 was, well, okay, 2016 was bad for other reasons. But in terms of the celebrity deaths, I was thinking this is just a statistical inevitability. But I can pretty confidently say that not every year has a global pandemic, so 2020 was definitely worse than average. I mean, that didn't need to be said. Did you get a lot of internships when you were a computer science major? That's asked by Leanne C. I actually didn't, and this is something that I've sort of regretted, but not really, is that when I was in college, they always hosted career fairs and places where you could, give your resume to potential employers, and I never went. Like, I think every time I heard one was rolling around the corner, I thought to myself, oh, I hate corporate life. I don't want to have to write a resume to prove to some other being about how qualified I am. Like, I just do YouTube, I kind of run my own show. But I feel like what happened is that by my senior year, I had no internship experience, and the only internship I got was because of my YouTube, but it was like a smaller company. Like, nothing against like small startup companies, but it just felt like, the big tech companies who want to hire, they probably don't even know I exist, or like think that I'm like a rabble rouser, troublemaker, rule breaker, unreliable, garbage, nonsense thing. Like, I just don't think that the skills that I've developed to make these YouTube videos transfers well into internships. But I don't know why I said all that. I think if you're like in that position now, you should at least try to get one or two in your, like, while you're still an undergrad, because like that's like time you can explore that you don't feel like you're wasting it. I don't know if I'll ever get an internship at this point. Well, okay, I did, but like, from here into the future. Someone wants to know, Vincent James asks, oh, this isn't a question. Brain fluff is a replacement word, isn't that hard, but it is challenging. Yeah, I don't really code in those novelty languages. I think they're just like fun puzzles, but like, if I want to just create something like this thingy, whatever this is, I wouldn't use it. Okay, wait, it's been more than the 3 to 5 minutes I said it would be. When will you live stream on your main channel? The thing is, I'm kind of worried about live streaming on my main channel because it'll probably stay up there permanently, and I feel like CarryKH already has a problem where the videos on there are too diverse and people don't know what they're subscribing for, which has been a problem like for a long time, because there's people from the Object Show world, there's people who want more marble races and Algae Kosathlon, and then there's the whole wave of people from 2017 who thought I was AI guy. So I guess I could live stream and then make it unlisted afterward. and put it as part of a live stream playlist if anyone ever wanted to go back and see it. Yeah, that's an option. Because the only reason I live stream this on on Lazy KH is because I wanted to bring in the computer science fans, but in a more private way. Threadsnake asks, wish there were programming languages where you could just switch to shorthand or other styles of programming. Yeah, I feel like with computers, you can't take shortcuts. It's like if you write the word range, but then leave out the E, you know, it's gonna crash. So you have to be very meticulous with every character you write. It's Michael Phillips asks, will your top comment videos thumbnail ever be updated again? Yeah, so it was updated, I think, sometime this year, like in January, so it hasn't been that long. But I would like to point out, this is my laptop that was running the code to update it every 10 minutes. Wait, can you see this? I gotta open OBS to see. So, in order for it to work, like, there has to be a Python script that's running 24/7 on my computer. And guess what? Like, I can't even turn it on now. Like, or I can turn it on, but Windows 10 crashes and it says like, you need to get a new version of Windows. This thing is corrupted. So I might have lost, you know, lots of files, whatever. I think, I don't know. Well, that was definitely a YouTube experiment that I don't want to have to maintain forever. I know like Tom Scott's video where he says like the view count's gonna update for as long as possible, but eventually it will wash away, just like Web 2.0's systems. Like the whole video is him talking about projects he made in the 2000s that are defunct now. Cool. Rip computery. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I don't know why. Like it's 5 years old, which I guess is kind of old, but I thought it would last longer. Do you think, okay, this is my third to last question. Kiertronic asks, do you think HTML is a good programming language? Okay, I know there's like a debate about whether HTML is a programming language. I feel like it's like a fancy way of writing text. Okay, maybe there's ways of making it interactive or something, but if it can't do interactive stuff, I wouldn't call it a language. Yeah. The Lone Pencil asks, hi Carrie, I'm your childhood friend. We used to go to school in Argentina. Wait, I never went to Argentina. I still haven't been there. I was gonna go in 2019 to see a solar eclipse, but then I chickened out because I was worried that they wouldn't speak English and then I'd get like lost. And but you're lying. I never went to school in Argentina. Okay, second to last question. Makuya Kai asks, how did you generate 12 voting screens back in the days? It's a processing script. Anything that I made that like sort of has graphical elements or shapes moving around, it's probably processing. I guess that's sort of my lifeblood. Creepy, right? I should grow up and move on beyond that. Wait, let me do something interesting so you aren't just seeing the same thing over and over again. I don't know what to do. ID card size. What if I make this like 100 by 200? What's gonna happen? This is just a random thing. You get to see twice as many. Oh no, you don't. No, you don't. You know, this is like when you see those intimidating pictures of like politicians and you see half of their face at once. This is like that. Maybe not politicians, but like characters in a movie, you see half their face at once. That's what this looks like. Okay, last question. 700Y asks, what project did you have to write the most code for? Oh, that's a good question. I know there's a video on my KH channel called more behind the scenes of Royal City, and I made a, actually let's pull it up right now. I have nothing to hide. Boop. YouTube. More Royal City behind the scenes. And I made a bar graph of my whatever took me the most lines of code to write. Grammarly, your grammar sucks, which is why you need a bot to help you who doesn't even speak English. That's, yeah. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this was back in August 2013, so things have changed. But BFDIA 5B was the record holder back then. I think it's like, you can't just count number of lines of code to figure out like which is the biggest. What big projects have I worked on since then? Elemental 3 maybe, because I had a lot of code behind the scenes that like users don't have access to that tallies up all the votes and does all these MySQL requests. Actually, I don't think that's it. Yeah, I think Elemental 3 is up there. Maybe Game of Life and Death, you know, the iOS app, that probably has a couple thousand, maybe 3,000. Okay, I said that was going to be my last question, so I'm going to end the live stream now. Thank you everyone for watching and tuning in and being part of the beginning of this Jelly Evolution Simulator. Okay, I'm going to say bye to everyone who comments. Bye Odilo, bye Lumpy Roots, Scratch Gaming, Ida 12, T Swanee, Unsighted Metal 6, Kiertronic, Cool Bye, Unsighted Metal 6, The Lone Pencil, Roberto Vasconcelos, it's Michael Phillips. Well, it's going really fast now. Wait, okay, I guess this is when the stream finally realized it's going to end. Boost Glitch 732, Circuit Board, Prussia, Rudy. I'm only getting to like a fifth of these. Oh my god, chill with the buys. Oh my god, too many buys. Oh my god, Thread Snake, Blocky 806, Zaora, Retrospectrum, Turtley. You know, I'm just going to end the stream. Bye everyone, thanks for watching. Boop. Oh wait, no, I didn't click end quite yet. Okay, end stream. Your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live. Okay, thanks for watching everyone. Have a good day. Bye.